Welcome to Elite Encounters. I'd like to give a special welcome back to the Elite. Yes, that's you, our awesome subscribers. We are here every Tuesday streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in front of a live studio audience. Hello, audience. We would like for you to take a look at our channel to find the links to our other sites, as well as that awesome subscribe button. Hit that, and you too could become one of the elite. I would say you were tuned into the Soul Severed campaign, but today I'm going to give those characters a little bit of a break. Sometimes the mind needs a rest. Instead, we're going to focus in on another story. And for that, I'm going to hand over my chair to someone else to focus it.
Good evening. We're going to start an epic adventure that will henceforth be known as the Psychic Promise. We're going to tell a tale of a young woman and her story to build a campaign and build a kingdom around her, and what that looks like when everything around her is tempting her to the fates of whether she'll be the hero you know and love or the villain that everyone hates. So I implore you to plug in, grab your drink and your popcorn, and join us for our adventure as we drive down the Psychic Promise. As the scene opens up, you are focused on a mountain range that extends the entire length of Voth Teril. It's in the southern half of the continent that you have grown to love through the Soul Severed campaign. And we are going to explore a time that is after that campaign has found its end. We won't discuss any spoilers of what may have taken place during that campaign because there's still lots of things that we still have to uncover. But just know that in the timeline, that this comes after the heroes that you know and love. We're going to start at a city called Emberfell. It's the largest city in the southern half of Voth Teril. There is a king and a queen that run this city. And in this city, the king's name is Corvus, and the queen's name is Aurora. We find our adventurers, though they don't know each other just yet, we find them in different places of the city. There is a large factory that is overgrown with underbrush that used to be the pinnacle place of discovery for alchemical and other magical entities. And in this overgrown factory of, you would say, there is a small light in a corner of a room that is got alchemical equipment and glass beakers and other scientific experimentation spread out across this area. And we find ourselves looking over the shoulder of one Rin. Rin, why don't you describe to us what we see?
Yes. My name is Rin. Excuse me. Yobari. Look like the most basic commoner that could commoner. You know, nothing special. Brown hair, brown eyes, medium build. Basically, very plain. There in the lab. Just working on things. Reading a manuscript that, if one would pinned it, it is pinned by a not older but more traveled alchemist named Barnabas, that you may know, and I'm studying his ways of alchemy.
Very good, very good. As the camera pans back, we find in the middle of the town to be a massive sundial that sits as the centerpiece in the town. This sundial is millennia old. It's one of the first establishments or the first iconic pieces that was built in this city. And as the camera pans back to reveal the sundial kind of making its way toward noon, we see a couple of figures walking handedly together. Though their builds and shapes were vastly different, their features lend to them possibly having a connection. And we find ourselves looking upon Inferna and Siswick. Would you guys like to describe what we see?
Well, Siswick stands a grand 5'3" tall and has about shoulder length, flaming red hair. She's very slight of build, and she does have a lute upon her back and stands next to her sister.
Slightly taller, slightly darker, but obviously still related.
Very well. As we turn the corner from the sundial, we find ourselves standing next to a giant furnace or forge that is known as the Cinder Smiths. And in this area, you find two female, one human, one dwarf, leaning up against a building with an ale cup in their hand that they have taken from the establishments around the area, and they are casually chatting. Marie and Meg, would you describe what we see?
Meg, or full name Megara. She's a dwarf. She's from the southeast Aveston. She's 5'3", slender, about 115 pounds. She carries a couple guns on her sides. She's very much drawn to her guns over swords. And she's dressed in earthly colors.
Perfect.
Marie is very unassuming. Very, you wouldn't wouldn't remember seeing her as she walks around the city because she likes to be sneaky and she likes to take things that don't belong to her and not have people remember.
No. And lastly, as the camera kind of pans itself, revealing the size of Emberfall, we see a kind of unassumingly fellow just outside of the Phoenix Gate, leaning against the edge of the town, dressed in what I would assume to be earthly tones. And you can definitely tell that he has a little uneasiness about the hustle and bustle of the town. Philip, would you like to expound upon what we see?
As I said, earth tones, carry a long spear with me. You're not really sure what you're seeing at this point. Like I said, hustle and bustle, there's a lot going on, and my skin has a habit of displaying my emotions. I am small. There are a lot of things that play into my emotions. I might have been striped and you saw me around that corner, or maybe I had polka dots. Maybe I was blue. I try to keep it under control, but it's a little hard right now.
And for the record, you are a gnome, correct?
I'm yes. I'm sorry when I said everything
you are a
was very
shortly
big.
fellow.
I'm 3'2" 3/8", sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're mediumly shortly.
Medium shortly, yes.
Yeah,
medium
medium
shortly.
That's a gnome of mass stature there.
So tiny.
Mega
Me
gnome.
too, tall.
So, Philip, as you are standing looking outside of the Phoenix Gate into what is known as the Ash Wastes, that is into the reaches just outside of Emberfall, there are mercenary bands that are making their way back into town. It is a typical money-making endeavor to venture out into the ash wastes and fight the spirits that kind of live out there or kind of reconciled and held into that area. You see a mercenary group coming back in. Their wagon is pretty tattered, and the people on board seem to have definitely seen better days. But their wagon does look like it is weighed down with potential loots and treasures.
Yes. Stealth, thievery, stealth.
Is that what you're after?
That's absolutely what I'm after.
Okay. Roll me stealth, please.
That's a nat 20, sir. I compose myself. My colors are now beautifully blended with the surroundings.
Okay. So we see Philip in just that typical flash of an eye. He kind of blends right in with the surroundings.
Went from panic to boom, gone.
What are you doing?
I'm going to get a little closer, see if there may or may not be any, loose items on the back of said card.
Okay. So as you,
They look tired.
they absolutely are. As you kind of approach up onto the wagon, you definitely see a tarp or a blanket has been thrown over.
I'm small. Do they have like trinkets? Like,
Oh, sure. They have all kinds of things inside this blanket that's thrown over it. You see and you hear jingling of what you assume to be goods, but you can't see anything because it's covered. So I assume that you're going to attempt to work your way into that.
absolutely.
Okay, roll me thievery.
I'm going for a ride, friends. That's an 11.
An 11. Okay. Given the fact that no one knows that you're even there, they can't even see you.
So I can take my time.
You 100%. You just kind of reach your hand in and you just kind of are unassumingly feeling around, and you pull your hand out and you are holding what looks to be an emerald the size of your palm. And you're literally looking at it, and it's the deepest green emerald you've probably ever seen.
Oh. Okay. Bad idea, but I'm going to get greedy. I'm going to secure this somehow, and I'm sticking my arm back in.
Okay.
I can't carry much more of this, but we're going back in.
Okay. Roll me thievery.
Is it a
I got a 1, not a nat 1,
Okay.
but I got a 1.
So you have in your is Philip right-handed or left-handed?
Philip is right-handed.
Okay. So you have this emerald in your left hand, and you're trying to figure out how I'm going to hold on to this emerald, and I'm going to reach into this,
Mhm.
and you're just kind of like
I'm trying to stick
and
it
you
under
reach your arm into this thing, and as you kind of reach your arm in, you start to kind of like feel like yourself losing balance on this wagon, and you have one choice: you either
No.
drop the emerald, and grab a hold of what you're holding on to, or you hold on to the emerald and you fall onto your back.
I fall onto my back.
Okay. So you slam down onto your back, and in a panic, your little gnome self changes from the grassy green color to the brightest of pinks because you're now embarrassed.
And I am contrast to this emerald so horribly.
100%.
Hi, friends. They don't see me, do they?
Did you say hi?
Being pink.
No.
There's definitely an audible thud.
I probably did scream fuck as, this giant diamond
I
or
don't know if you
emerald came.
landed squarely on your back, but you definitely go.
Uh-huh.
You land. But these guys don't seem to notice you.
Yes.
I mean, he's only this tall.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
This has
wait.
to squeak.
That's true.
I don't scream that out loud, by the way. As I successfully hide, I just scream, yeah.
Okay.
No.
So the wagon.
Oh, so you're reaching for
the wagon
things.
is making its way toward the town, and you're laying there, unassumingly on the ground on your back, with this emerald, clutching it in your hand.
I'm clutching it in my hand. I have my eyes closed for a while because, at this point, I'm done for. but the sound gets further and further away. I kind of look up. I'll get up and I'll run off into not the middle of the fucking street.
Okay. Sounds good. And we'll leave you right there for a moment. Meg and Marie, you guys are standing outside of an inn inside of Ember Fall. And as you are standing there holding your cup from inside of the inn there, the inn is called the Ember Light Inn. And as you guys are standing there chit-chatting, there is the sounds of music starting up inside the inn. When you left, there was a bard in there that was pretty not so good, but he was making his way. But as you have worked your way outside, along with some of the other patrons of the bar have worked their way outside to get away from the sounds of this bard that was playing. You can't tell if he's been booed off stage or he has finally kind of caught hint and someone else has come up to play. And the music coming out of the bar is very lively and kind of got a lot of pep in it, kind of in its step. And you see the patrons starting to flow back into the bar. What do you do?
Oh, I'm pickpocketing as on their way back in.
Okay. So you guys are standing on the outside of this inn, and this inn is known for it's got this burnt orange glass, stained glass windows, and the inn itself has a very famous spiced cider that is what people kind of come to the inn for. And this inn also has made its fame because it roasts its meat instead of frying it or baking it. It's roasted. So roll me a thievery if you're pickpocketing these people.
19.
19 total?
Mhm.
All right. Just kind of haphazardly or anyone in particular? Or?
Oh, just as they're walking past, just reach
Super
out and
duper.
grab things.
Nice
Alright.
to meet you. Have a great day.
Pretty much.
Pleasure.
How many
Pleasure's all mine.
how many times do you want to do this?
We'll say 4.
Okay. Roll me that 3 more times.
I don't know. What's 13 and 8? 21?
Mm-hmm.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. Oh, that's not good. That's a 9.
Okay.
That's 26.
All right. So as you are working your way through the pockets of all of these unsuspecting people, you find yourself holding or clutching in your hands a total of 15 gold pieces.
Ooh.
As you have pilfered these people going into the bar.
I sure have.
We're all going to hell.
And Meg
Me
is
especially.
standing there laughing at you as she's well aware of what's going on and just is taking in her drink. Are you drinking the spice cider or are you drinking something else?
No, I think spice cider sounded pretty good.
Okay. So the spice cider that is on the tap for today has some honey and jasmine kind of vibes to it. It's super kind of naturey, but it's very delicious. And it's very, very popular. People will come from all over the entire town to come to this bar. And the guy who owns the bar is very protective of the recipe and how he makes it. So, but you 100% see Marie over here, got her hands in everybody's pockets. And this isn't something that should surprise you because I'm guessing Marie does this on the daily.
Why I'm so good.
Yeah, well, clearly, even with your 9, no one saw you,
That's right.
right?
Because I'm so unassuming, they wouldn't expect it of me.
That's true. True. So you guys find yourself outside of the bar. Most of the people have made their way back in. Do you actually go back into the bar, or are you wrapped up for the evening for being in the bar?
I think I probably would use some of the stolen money to get food because we're pretty short on money.
Sounds like a
and
good idea.
food.
We'll
So,
go back in and eat, get another round of cider.
Okay.
On the 15 gold that
So you go in, and there is
All the other people.
there is a halfling that is playing a lute on the stage, and he is playing at a 23.
cool.
He is playing this little itty bitty lute. Will kind of is the high pitched sounding like a mandolin at this point. And you guys go in, and there's a couple of tables you can choose from. One closer to the bar, or one closer to the kind of the backside of the bar. And there's one that's like dead and right in the middle that no one kind of seems to sit at because it's right where everyone would be looking to watch the bard play.
Well, I don't want to sit there.
Me neither.
Besides that, I don't care.
So you let Meg choose?
Yeah.
All right. So you have two choices that you know that Marie wouldn't have a stroke. You have the one that's kind of on your left when you walk in, that's kind of up by the bar, and you have one on the right that's kind of in the back corner of the bar, furthest from the door.
I think I will try to probably the back corner, just so that we can observe everything around us.
Perfect.
Not have our backs
Like a
to
good
anybody.
idea.
So you guys slide in. The bar winch will eventually make your way over. You are in the back corner, so you kind of get the furthest travel. She comes over and, well, howdy, ladies. What can we get you? We see you've already got a cup. You want some refills? Do you need anything else?
We'll take some refills and some food.
Of course. What
What's
do you
the
want,
special
honey?
tonight?
Oh, we got roast duck
Sounds delicious.
for both of you.
For both. For both?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, for both.
We want one round, or you want? You guys are in the back. You may want you may want to order two if you don't want me to have to keep running back here.
We'll do two.
Perfect. I'll bring it right out, honey. You guys just behave. And she just
Julie.
turns and kind of scurries on her way. She's not gone very long, and she comes back. She's got kind of like that, holding all the mugs in her hand.
But I want to peek. Yeah.
So she's got all the mugs in her hand, and she's got all of her mugs in her hand, and she comes back with the plates kind of on her arms, and she just kind of sets both mugs down, and then kind of just slides the plates down her arm onto the table. And as the first one kind of hits the table, she just kind of shoves it with her hand, and it just slides right over to you. Like she's done this for 30 years of her life, and she knows exactly how hard to push it to get it right where it needs to be. Ladies, do you need anything else?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Good. She pulls the towel off her belt and just kind of wipes the table where she set everything down, and then makes her way back. Just yell if you need anything, ladies. I'll be around. And with that, we're going to pick up with the Firebrand sisters. You guys are standing closest to the sundial as noon is approaching. This sundial is made of the most ostentatious, polished, like brass. If it was polished anymore, you could probably mistake it as gold. And it's hot. Like standing next to this thing, it feels like it radiates heat because of how polished and how bright this thing is. But it for sure is accurate, and you see people that will walk by and just kind of glance to see what time it is. This is a staple to the entire city, and most of the roads will make their way through the Sundial district. So, what are you ladies out doing this morning or afternoon as we approach?
Well, I'm hungry. And do you have anything in your pockets?
A little. Why?
Well-
Oh, you're hungry.
Yes, I'm hungry. I think I
Just
just
checking.
told you that.
Just checking. Sometimes you want more.
What? I always want more. Everybody always wants more, dear. So I think we should go find some place where I can play, get some money, And we'll just eat for free, keep a little cash, keep people away from me that get handsy. Sound good?
The traditional, the normal.
Well, sometimes I have to remind you.
Sometimes you like it.
That's a detail. So, where shall we go?
Well, have we been here before?
You all, at least I assume, all of you, probably except for Philip, probably live in the town.
Well,
Philip probably just lives
The
close by.
traditional, the normal place.
So you know of a couple places that will serve you food and allow you to play. There is the Emberlight Inn, which has a very nice little stage right inside of the inn that'll allow you to play. And then there is the Sunstone Terrace, which is an actual outdoor rooftop bar, which has a bar and has a place for the bard to play. The only difference is the Sunstone Terrace, you have to pay to play there, kind of like it's a higher scale place. So you kind of rent the stage, and then you have it for a time frame, but you will generally make more money on those types of stages.
Right, we'll be honest. I probably have never paid to play there. I've probably talked my way in several times.
That's a strong possibility.
Possible.
Well, if I can't, then I'll just go to the other one. So, don't exactly feel like dealing with the management at the terrace. So, how about we go to the Emberlight Inn?
To the Emberlight.
Was there a schedule for bards playing at the Emberlight Inn? Is it just you kind of come in and play?
It just you come in and play. It's kind of a shared stage, kind of like that old man's, like, you know, when it's open, if you want to play, you can jump up there and play, kind of like open mic night.
Right. Well, shall we?
Let's
We'll
go.
go walking towards it, and of course, anybody that actually looks my way, I might give them a wink if they're good looking. And we'll continue on to the Emberlight Inn.
All right. So as you guys approach the Emberlight Inn, it's kind of got a dark kind of cream colored texture outside the building. And it is obviously known for its burnt orange stained glass windows. And the smell of the spiced cider is permeating it out the door and out the closed windows. It's enough to draw people in as you're walking by. Not unlike, fresh baked bread when you walk by the bakery. And as you get within earshot, you do hear that there is music playing. So you know, at the very least, that there is somebody in the bar that is playing music currently. And based on the fact that you already kind of play music, you know that whoever that is playing pretty well.
Anything recognizable? Perhaps original piece or
It seems to be original piece, but roll me just a flat intelligence check.
Must not have been that interesting to me. 5.
So they're definitely playing on some kind of stringed guitar type instrument. You can't tell if it's a lute or a mandolin, maybe at this distance.
Reach back and pluck mine, see if it sounds the same. I can't quite hear it from here.
Yours has probably got a lower tone than the one that's being played. So, and as you guys kind of push the door open to the Emberlight Inn, you see there is a table that's empty in the middle, and there's a table that's empty to the left, and then you see all the rest of the patrons have kind of spread themselves out through the bar, and there is a bar wench that is making her way around the bar, carrying various mugs and plates and things like that.
Well, never make it easy on my sister, so of course I go straight to the middle.
I don't even stop. I know where she's going.
Perfect. So you guys kind of slide your way into the middle. Inferno, where do you sit in reference to the stage? Do you try to sit off to one side? Do you sit kind of like in the middle of the table? Do you sit on the ends of the table? So think of a circular table, which Which cardinal direction do you sit at?
Facing where I can see the stage and the door.
So you'll probably sit on the right hand side of the
Fascinating.
table when you're looking at it. Where do you sit? Across from her?
I sit directly in the barn's view
Okay, so you
on the
sit.
stage, pull my lute, and make sure I'm tuned quietly.
Okay. So the bard will instinctively and instantly kind of notice you when you pull the lute out as you're kind of tuning your lute. He looks. You see him kind of refocus himself, and he begins to play a very recognizable tune that you know, and it sounds like he's probably played this tune, or if you weren't mistaken, this guy wrote this tune. It is coming off of this lute. It's coming off of this lute like fire.
I think he just challenged you.
Sounds like it. Don't tell me that was a natural 20.
It could have been.
I think that was a challenge. Are you going to let it stand?
Of course not. Okay. You kidding?
Rin, as you're working in your laboratory, you realize that your stomach starts to rumble, and you know that your supply of spice cider has run out that you have bought, that you have in the back. And you find yourself in a lull in your experiment stage where you know that if you're going to run out and get something, it's probably got to be now.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I'm hungry. The sauce is out. Need some more. I'll grab my pony cake.
Do you throw? Do you keep your bandolier on, or do you take it off when you're doing your experiments and stuff?
Well, you know, the teachings of Barnabas say when you are doing experiments, it's best not to blow yourself up.
That's
And
probably wise.
also, don't do anything. Don't cook anything and not expect company, because every time cooking happens, people show up. So
That's why he orders out.
yeah, I don't actually make anything in the shop. So in the back, there's actually my alchemical laboratory, and then I have a storefront that sells stuff like the basic things that people need and alchemical stuff. So I'm gonna grab that, put on my hat.
Okay.
It's a flat topped hat with a wide brim, goes all the way around, and like a cloak. Just because I don't feel well.
Do you flip your little sign says we'll return it?
Yeah, we'll be back at whenever I come back. Probably. I mean, is it evening?
It's noon.
It's noon. Yeah. So I'll be back by
We'll be back
like-
eventually.
the second bell.
We'll be back when I'm full.
We'll be back when the doors open.
Yeah. So 2 hours.
Okay. So you set the little thing that says we'll be back at 3.
If Locke tried later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If lock, come back. If pick lock, expect death.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Explosions imminent.
Yeah.
All right. So as you come out of your kind of overgrown factory that you have kind of assumed kind of residence in, you've definitely are on the edge of town. As you come out, you see this little gnome kind of scurrying just inside of the town, clutching onto this thing in his hand. You can't quite see what it is, but it's definitely too big for his hand. He's got his little mitten wrapped around this gem, or what looks to be a gem, and he's kind of clutched it like this, and he's kind of scurrying to find somewhere where he can get out of the light.
It's great.
What color is he right now?
He's probably like a muted shade of pink, trying to get himself unembarrassed and trying to move his way to a place where he can start to assume the background color around him.
Huh. Maybe I have a salve for that. Hey, you with the somewhat pink short person.
Short.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Mm,
Are you okay? You're kind of a weird color.
I'm fine.
What's that in your hand?
Nothing.
It doesn't look like nothing, and I'm not a constable. I'm just curious.
It's mine.
I know it's yours. Do you need a bag for it?
Yes.
Here. Name's Ren.
Philip.
Now we're friends.
So he sticks his little hand out, and it's literally his entire hand fits in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, he's a toddler.
Yeah, 100%.
My arm is.
Yeah, he shakes your elbow.
Shakes me like a man, though. It's like crushes my hand. All right, Philip. Pink skin.
Slight
Do you have a surname, Philip? Or is it just Philip?
pale dust.
That's actually kind of cool. Philip Pale Dust. Well, I'm Ren Jabari.
Can I just call you Ren?
It looks like you're needing. It looks like you're trying to hide. Maybe.
Get somewhere safe.
Ren, give me a perception check, sir.
Well, it's a 7.
Yes. Though you rolled a 7, Philip's little stomach is ready for third breakfast, and it is grumbling like nobody's business.
I have been running for a minute.
You sound
Running,
as if
panicking.
you could eat a horse.
A small one?
A large one. You're hungry.
Do you have
Why
one?
don't you accompany me? We can take.
Did you ask him
If
for
you
a
want.
horse?
We could take your gem and put it in my shop.
Crap, he knows what it is.
Sorry, your bag of goods and put it in my shop. It's a magical shop. It'd be fine. Or we could just go get food. It'll be my treat.
Always food, shop, more things to look at. You sell things as well as.
Yes.
Do you go into the shop? Do you leave your gem in the shop? What do you do?
I will not leave my gem in the shop, but I will go in the shop.
You walk up to the door, and the sign says, "We'll be back whenever," and the door doesn't open.
I'm not back yet.
I'll be back
Hold on.
whenever.
Flip the sign over. Oh, the door opens.
The door,
He did just flip over.
and the sign when he flips it over says, "I'm back."
Very odd, man.
So you go in, the door swings open, and there's kind of candle lights that are lit. You can't quite tell unless you walk up to them whether that's like alchemical light or if it's real light. But there's just bottles and bottles and bottles of things. You see empty vials that are just waiting for to be used, and you see a label above. It says, recycled bottles. And then you see a shelf that's got reagents above it. And then you see alchemical mixtures. And then you see other shelves that are just like empty cases where you could come in and buy like whole cases of like elixirs of healing and things like that. But they're just the case to carry them.
Okay, this man's got so much stuff. I leave my gem. I'm not going through all this right now. I want food.
Okay. So he lays
He doesn't need this. I leave it.
he lays his gem on your counter inside of his bag of goodies and heads back out your door.
Before he leaves, I stomp on the floor behind the desk in a very specific spot, and a trap door opens, and I put the gem in there, and I shut it.
I like this guy.
No one's going to touch it. There's too much breakables in here anyway.
I did that. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, and if you touch the wrong thing in the wrong way, then it gets very exciting very quickly.
You mentioned something about food.
Yeah.
That's like that idea.
On the food. And
So you exit the
flip the thing, flip the door. The door
back
locked.
whenever.
Yep, be back whenever.
I try the door.
It does not open.
It's locked.
I just.
All right. So you have a couple of places. Obviously, if you're going for the spice cider, you know that you're going to the Emberlight Inn.
Yeah, I have an order to pick up that they don't know about yet, but Emberlight Inn it is.
Yes.
Mine mainly because it's
The smell lines are calling to me.
well, that it's also,
Smell
it's
line.
the third day of the week, so it's roasted duck. And I like roasted duck very much so. So
Have you had roasted duck?
Roasted duck and cider. The smell lines are calling to me. I don't know if I've had roasted duck, but whatever it is, I want it.
Okay.
it doesn't matter if you've had roasted duck or not have roasted duck. Roasted duck with the cider just pairs together amazingly, and you take some spark powder and throw it on there. It just gives it a little kick. I'm an alchemist. What?
Mm-hmm.
I think really awesome hot
I'm-
sauce.
Salivating everywhere.
Drooling.
Everywhere.
All right.
It's
So
just
as you
dripping.
guys approach the other side of the Emberlight Inn, this is probably your first time being inside the actual city. As you get this far into the town, you see a building pretty well taken care of. It definitely looks like an establishment that makes money, and the windows on the outside of this inn are all burnt orange, and they're all kind of a stained glass kind of color. So the light that's inside is refracting out through the windows, and it just makes kind of this orange kind of glow around this building. And as you get probably within maybe 2 blocks of this building, you can smell the roasted duck and the spiced cider. It's like they have some kind of aeration machine that is like pumping the air out of the building to try to draw in customers.
Seems to be working.
It is.
Yes,
It is indeed.
it is working very well.
There's almost no tables.
So you walk up. The establishment is all encompassing and all welcoming. So as you walk up to the door, there actually is a door handle at your height. So when you turn the door handle, it will unlock and lower the latch, so you can open the door without having to like reach up above your head to open the door.
Slightly less pink.
Yeah.
That's my favorite door. The accommodating door. Don't take that out of context.
So you walk in, the door slides open. You see a table on your left that doesn't have anyone sitting at it. You see the rest of the patrons that are in the Emberlight Inn. There is the bar wench that is running back and forth. It's got plates and mugs, and the smell of spiced cider and roasted duck hits you in the face when you walk in. And instantly, if you aren't already drooling on yourself, you are salivating with how savory the duck smells and how awesome the mixture of the spice cider smells in the room. And there is some epic music going on in this bar. This little halfling up there with his mandolin is dang near playing Devil Went Down to Georgia on this mandolin, rocking it out. And you see another individual with a lute, kind of using the tuning keys and tuning her lute as she sits adjacent to a larger female, which kind of has similar features. And then in the back corner, you see an unassuming person that you probably just kind of like, whatever, and a dwarf who are just enjoying themselves at the table. They are also two-fisting. They got two cups on their table.
That's right.
And oh my.
Sorry, wrong button.
The bar wench says the food's done, ladies and and the whole bar, yeah. So
We have
Bar
perfect
wench says-
timing.
the bar wench says, "Come on in, fellas, come on in. We got one table left. Help yourself. You want some drinks? I got you, Ren. Let me guess. I knew you brought it." And she comes over and fetches the pony keg from him and takes it back over to the bar. And she's like, "Marcus, Ren's brought his pony keg." And Marcus, you just hear him laughing in the back, and he says, "He just filled that thing 3 days ago." And he takes it, and I'll get it taken care of. And she says, "Gentlemen, just sit down at the table. I'll be right over. Do you want the duck?" "Okay, 2 orders of the duck and I got drinks coming your way. And she kind of disappears into a push open set of doors and goes into the kitchen. So this little halfling is tearing up this stage, and you see people getting up and dropping coin into his little hat that he has sitting out there, and he's making bank. Like these people are, bebopping with the music, and he's just going to town. And as he wraps up his song, he strums and kind of spins this little mandolin in his arms, and kind of with a fluid motion puts it on his back, and he does a little furrowed bow, and then kind of picks his hat up and dumps it in his little pocket and flips the hat up and puts it on his head. And he says, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, I unfortunately I have to go. I've made all of my money for the evening. Thank you very much. I will yield the stage to whoever this is, and she's beautiful, I'm sure." And he kind of hops off the stage and grabs a drink that was set on the edge of the stage and kind of slams it down, puts the cup down, and he kind of goes out the door. And it leaves the stage open.
Definitely challenging you.
Hey, obviously you didn't see that. He was intimidated. He ran off.
Okay.
I sauntered up to stage and began a rousing rendition of Whiskey in the Jar so that everybody could keep up the atmosphere in the air. That is going to be a 23.
Okay. Have you
24 for when my voice joins in.
you've played here before, yes?
Yes.
So as the patrons have kind of got its own following, they know Sizwick's set that she kind of plays or what she starts with, and she kind of starts out with an intro, and you hear the people kind of their cups start kind of clamping on the table with the beat of the song, and you think it's great, and then she starts singing on top of it, and she's fantastic. Like she's got the whole bar kind of in a tizzy, and everybody just seems to be drinking their drink as fast as they can to get to the bottom of the cup to have kind of the hollow cup sound on the table, and the bar wench knows that it's time to come refill drinks as she kind of hears all the cups kind of clanking along. And as she's kind of coming out, she's dropping off all of the plates of the duck. And man, oh man, this duck is great. It's roasted duck, so it's not like it's boiled or any of that kind of stuff. And like I said, this is what makes the Imberlight Inn so famous. The food and drink are top notch.
Whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray over hills and mountains into a merry gay. We're going to keep going all night.
So as you guys are eating and enjoying the festivities, how long do you guys kind of hang out and stay in the bar, in the inn?
As long as they keep giving me money.
You'll see kind of a quick bard math, probably about six to 8 gold pieces probably in your loot case as you play just the first song. So you guys find yourself with empty plates and empty mugs, and the bar wench is making her way around. How long do you keep spending money in the bar?
I'm good
with your meal and your drink.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll keep paying for him and as he keeps eating.
Okay.
I mean, I've never seen such a small
No,
person eat
it's
so much food.
it's surprising how much. Yeah.
Is he changing colors?
I don't know. Do you change color when you're full?
With the beat.
When I'm full, yeah, probably green.
What's your happy color? Green.
I've definitely eaten too much.
Oh,
No.
It smells too good. There's music going. The smells are amazing. I've indulged entirely too much in this amazing duck.
so you've had like a plate?
I'm down. I've had two,
Sorry,
Mhm.
I'm giving you a hard time.
and now I'm nauseous.
Worth
Okay.
it.
It's duck. It's very rich.
Oh, hold on. It's pink. Trust me. Take it. It'll fix your nausea. Kind of tastes like chalk.
It's a little dry, yeah.
Yeah,
With a
try-
little bit of-
Kind of impressive how you got a liquid to be dry.
yeah, it's abysmal.
Pepto-Bismol.
The best.
It's called It's Abysmal. What? Alchemist.
All right. So as
I-
you guys spend kind of the remainder of like your couple of hours in the bar as she's playing and you're eating and doing all of those things, you see one of the tables that's closest to the front of the bar, like right when you walked in, the closest to the door. There's a gentleman that has a large suit of armor on, and he has a shield kind of slung across the back of his chair, and he's got his feet propped up on another chair kind of under the table as he's kind of kicked back, leaning against the wall. And he seems to be observing the rest of the bar. And he kind of is just watching Siswick play. But he is definitely taking note of all of you in the bar. And you just kind of feel prying eyes as he kind of scans across the bar. You're doing a pretty good job trying to stay unassuming, but it's just you and the dwarf at the table. So eventually he lands over in your
I
area.
can only do so much.
Not to mention it's the back corner.
Yeah.
But you definitely feel the eyes as he is kind of glancing around the room. It doesn't feel like he's inherently dangerous, but you can definitely feel like you're being kind of sized up.
I make eye contact.
Okay. He will look at you and he'll give that very typical like guard like head lift acknowledgement that he sees that you're looking at him. And he's got his arms crossed and he's leaning back on the leaned back table on the chair, and he's got his feet up in the other chair. And he's got a plate that he had been eating and a spiced cider that he was drinking. And he just is kind of enjoying himself. But he's definitely kind of looking at what's going on. Bar wench makes her way around. And, she comes to all the tables. Do you guys need anything else? I can bring more drinks out. I can, if you want more duck, we can bring more duck. It'll be a minute. You want more duck? We got one coming out. It'll be a few minutes, but we can bring you some for sure. Do you want more drink too?
I'm good on drink. I got this pink stuff. It's amazing.
No, it's
That-
abysmal.
That looks horrendous, honey. Like, I don't know that I would drink that and drink whatever you're. That looks terrible.
Looks can be deceiving.
Not really.
It's really not great, but what it does for it's fine.
Okay. Just more duck?
More duck, please.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, I
Ladies,
shared her
you already
accent.
I'm already
good.
full on the duck. I'm pretty
Okay.
good.
You're good on your drink too? You want some more of those?
Yeah, I think I'm good for the night.
All right.
I don't
all
want
right.
to get too messed up.
Makes his way. Ladies, hey, you're doing fantastic up there, honey. Do you want a drink up there?
You know what? Find out who would like to buy me my first round.
Hey, who wants to buy her a drink? The bar is open for business.
Oh God.
And you see drunk patrons start kind of like hooting and hollering, and one gentleman that has kind of salt and peppery kind of hair. I'll take the first round, and he will pay for your drink.
And of course, I'll give a sly little wink to our bar wench.
She will. I got you, honey. Don't you worry. And she kind of picks the gold piece up and goes over and gets the drink and sets it on the edge of the stage there for you.
Mhm.
What do you play next?
Uh, hmm. Well, since he was such a gentleman and bought me a drink, I think I'll start sauntering down off the stage as I start singing my next tune. And it's not as good, but still decent with a 16. As I sing, and when I get to a certain part, I'm at the gentleman that bought me the drink and say, "Why don't you do right like some other men do?" Give him a little tug on his chin. Place a kiss on his cheek as I walk away. "Why don't you do right like some other men?"
As
So
soon,
the
as soon as she starts walking off the stage, I move to a readying position.
the guy will his face will turn red as he kind of gets embarrassed, and a little bit kind of caught off guard. And as you kind of reach out and touch on his chin, he looks more nervous that your sister has moved into eyesight, and you see kind of his eyes doing this like darting back and forth kind of thing, like, oh, this is really awkward. Like,
That's all right. Does that 16 beat his will DC? The DC for his will?
it definitely does.
Oh, then he's not moving until I walk away.
Okay. So you find you definitely have his attention, but you can tell he's nervously sweating and looking at you, even though he's definitely fascinated in what's going on. But he knows there's something looming on the other side that he doesn't want any part of.
There's a nice red lipstick mark all across his cheek.
Okay. And as you wrap up your second song, the gentleman that's sitting in the armor with the shield, he starts clapping like louder than everybody else, and kind of in that like slow,
Sarcastic.
Obnoxious offbeat from everybody
quite, but
else.
he's definitely doing it so that you would look at him, kind of that kind of thing.
I'm gonna check him out. What can I tell about him?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, that was nice. That is going to be a 24.
24. So he is wearing your kind of your typical guard regalia of the Kararis Empire, which is where you guys are, spelled Krairis Empire. And it's got kind of blues and golds. And he has what looks to be a symbol of a cresting sunrise kind of emblazoned on the chest of his armor. And he is just kind of leaning back in his chair, and the light kind of catches the armor just right, and it looks like whatever the material the chest armor is made of, the sun rays that are on his chest are made of a different material because they reflect differently than the material that the actual armor is made of. So as he sits at different angles, the different pieces will light up differently based on the angle that the light is hitting his chest.
And
All right.
does he have any rank on him or anything of that nature?
You can't tell. Most of that is on. They carry those on the shield that's emblazoned, but that's facing away from you.
Mm.
It's on the back of his chair.
Okay.
How about you play something from the Empire?
Yeah, pretty much. My lips are going dun dun dun, and that's what comes naturally. It's hard to really get that beat correct, but 12.
Okay. So there is a there's definitely a like a anthem of the Empire, and it's popular with a 12. You can definitely play it as a kid living in the area. It's something that you would have learned how to play. You may not necessarily be this may not be your actual birthplace, but as you've lived here long enough, you've heard it. You know how to play it. And you see him. He just kind of puts his arms up behind his head and he kind of closes his eyes and he just kind of lays like his head back against the wall and he's just kind of relaxing as you're playing the theme to the Empire. And he just is listening and he's got his arms behind his head and just kind of relaxing. And he's just kind of taking it all in.
Right. Does it actually have words to the?
Nope, it's kind of like a marching theme, kind of like an anthem.
So I'll keep my own lyrics to myself, but in my head I'm thinking, yeah, this man's a douche, he's a douche, he's a douche.
That's better.
I tried to keep it off my face, but it might creep up here and there.
Is that one of those you can't help what your face does when they enter the room?
I'm usually pretty good at keeping my face clear, but
I'm not.
I'm quite charming most of the time.
Fair enough.
Right. So, kind of about the time you wrap up what you're playing, you hear the sound of the door open, and you see 4 more of those guards, kind of wearing the same kind of armor, slide into the bar and sit at the same table that the gentleman was sitting at. And you see him kind of lean back, and he opens up and he says, "You guys are running late. I've already been through 3 songs." And they kind of all laugh and kind of have like a jovial like little time. No, we won't listen to Apple music. They all have kind of a jovial time, and the bar wench comes by and she's like, "You want the apple spice cider? You got it." And she goes back and she starts getting the spice cider for the guards that are there at the table. And she yells out, "Boys, do you want the duck tonight?" And one of them says, "No duck for me. The last time I got some heartburn, it was terrible. But
Oh no.
I'll take whatever you got from yesterday. That was delicious if you got any of that." And she goes, "You want some of that roast? We have just a little bit left over. I'll bring it out to you, honey. You just go ahead and sit down." And so they all sit down, and they're just kind of loudly having guard chat at the table while they're waiting on their food and drink. What do you do? Are you still playing? Are you
I will finish the anthem, and you'll have to take my apology. I do need some of that roast duck. So I'm going to take a quick break, get a bite, and I'll be back.
okay? And as you kind of announce that to the bar, the bar wench will have your duck brought out to your table, so that way it wasn't just sitting there getting cold while you were playing. And she sits it down, and you will see in the corner of your plate where you have the duck and whatever maybe roasted carrots or something, where the other side would be, you see a stack of coins where she has given you your cut of the kind of the run of the bar of what was made while you were playing at the beginning when everyone was kind of smashing through their drinks. She kind of sets a couple of coins down and she's like, "You're always fantastic, honey. Don't you worry, we have you taken care of." And she kind of bumps your arm
Thank you.
and sets your food down. And she goes, "Marcus says that it was fantastic, and he says that enjoy your corn." And she kind of winks at you.
Thank you. Oh, but I can't leave the stage completely empty. You know that. So, with a quick, my presence has music. It comes to life on stage with an orchestra as musical accompaniment. will last at least for a minute. And we'll continue to play something that goes along with what I'm doing. So it's wonderful music to eat to. But I'll sit right there near it and let it play while I enjoy food.
Okay. So as you sit down and you get your fork and you're cutting into the duck and you're about to bring that first bite up to your mouth, the front door of the inn slams open, and you see a gentleman walk in that is dressed very opulently, has a hat on, kind of in that proper, like, royalty kind of stance, walks in and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, King Corvus and Queen Aurora." And he steps to the side of the door.
The
in-
orchestra fanfest.
And in walks a gentleman that has got more armor on than sense. And he has a visor that pulls down over his face. You can see the bottom part of his mouth, and you can see, like, not unlike Cyclops and the X-Men, but he has a visor that kind of comes down around his eyes, but it's part of the back. Like, he's got a helmet on, but it's got just the visor part. But you can see his mouth, and you can see the top of his forehead. And he walks in, and he has a giant shield, and on it is emblazoned of that sunrise, on a symbol on it. And then there is a crown on the top of his shield with the points of the crown at the actual top spikes of the shield. And then he walks in and steps to the left, and you see a very well dressed lady walks in, and she has kind of like a fiery orange and yellow dress. And she kind of walks with this supernatural kind of grace and kind of quickness to her. But her eyes are very like bolt gun gray color. So they're kind of like unnaturally gray, but they're just very steel-like. But she puts off kind of an aura of comfort and relaxation, especially compared to her husband, who's very militant, wearing armor, very shield-like. And you can see that he has a big sword that's a breast on his back that is clipped into a holster type. And she just comes in, kind of got her hands folded, has like a little basket that she's got on her arm, and she walks in and she goes, "Marcus," she says, "Corvus and I would love the opportunity to dine in your establishment this evening, if that would be okay." And Marcus is like fumbling over his own words, and he's got his rag out, his rag out, and he's kind of washing the front of the bar. And he's like, "Oh, of course, Your Highness. Where would you like to sit? Where would you like to sit?" And she's like, "Oh, it's nothing like that. We could just sit at the bar. It's fine. We don't need to displace anyone. It's just fine. It's fine." And Corvus says, "Nonsense, honey. Nonsense." And he goes, "Gentlemen," and he looks at the guards and he goes, and you see all the guards stand up at the table, and they kind of line up along the backside of the bar. And the king will walk over and pull the chair out, and he goes, "After you." And she gracefully, almost as if she's not touching the floor, will walk over, almost kind of like floating, like, and sit down at the table. And Corvus will go around to the other side of the table where he can see the door, and he will sit. And he kind of, and you would think, just you see his armor just kind of clinks together as it sits, almost like it's supporting him inside of it. And you see the crier, or the guy who went before him, just kind of stand over to the backside of the bar. And the guards then kind of assume kind of a half semicircle around that table. And the king says, just raises his hand and kind of motions toward Marcus, and he shakes his head and disappears into the kitchen.
There seems to be a little too much authority in here for me. And I'm going to take this moment to kind of head for the door.
So you stand up to leave.
Yes.
Okay. Are you just getting up and walking? Are you trying to hide? Are you trying to stealth? Are you trying
No,
to, like,
just getting up and walking. Like
Okay. So you get up and leave.
my food's gone. It's not like I'm leaving early.
You get up to go to leave, and you'll see as you stand up the suit of armor that Corvus is in. You see his head just kind of turn, and because you moved in his peripheral vision, so he kind of turns and catches you. And as you you go around behind him. Do you walk in front of him? How do you go to the door?
Along the wall?
So behind him.
Sure.
Okay. So if this is the door, the
Yep.
table that the guards were sitting in was right inside the door to the right. So if you can go behind him to get to the door, or you can go in front of him to
No, I'll definitely go behind him.
behind him.
Yeah.
So you go to walk behind him to the door, and as you pass behind him and behind the table, he will slam his fist down, and one of the guards will step over in front of the door.
Well,
He says, "I beg your pardon, young lady, but no one leaves until we finish eating. For our safety and yours,
But I am finished eating.
till we finish eating. Have a seat."
I roll my eyes and I go back over and I sit down. I guess I'll have another cider.
It'll be on us. Matter of fact, Marcus, bring around for everybody in the bar.
Except for me, I'm good. I like to stay somewhat sober.
Just take it. You don't have to drink it.
Hmm.
No,
Kinda
I heard her
fitness
say that. I'll
levels.
take hers too.
All right. So you see the panic face of the bar wench, like it hit her in the face, like, oh my, like everyone in the bar now gets another drink, and so she just kind of, and she just scurries back, and you see her get the big tray out, and she starts just
Lining them up.
lining them up with
Mhm.
mugs, and she's coming around each table and just dropping them down. She does not give a drink or a mug to any of the guards that are now there, and she does not give another drink or mug to the queen until she asks for the second drink. But she will put one everywhere else.
Is there a royal taster or anything like that?
Nope.
That's
I'm going to help her. She's a little too busy there.
Okay.
Besides, lets me get a better look at our company
Sounds good.
and
Oh,
make
boy.
my way past the dwarf and humans table and make sure to deliver their drink.
Okay. So the bard who was just playing the music just slides over and kind of picks up a couple
there's
drinks
still
off.
music playing.
But you were playing. But she picks up a couple drinks off of the table. Off the tray, and kind of slides them over to your table.
I sigh and I take a drink.
Can I get
Set it down.
a society rule at etiquette around this king and queen?
Sure.
That's going to be a 24.
24. So based on what you know about King Corvus, he is he's human. He's probably in his late 20, early 30s. He is extremely stoic in nature, but he is very protective of Emberfell at all cost. He is extremely loyal to the Empire, and there is. Roll me a bardic knowledge. Do you have that?
No.
No. Do you
I have
have?
knowledges?
What you got? A 24.
Mhm.
So based on your society role of the king, there are rumors that have not been necessarily substantiated that the reason he wears the visor is he has a glare that is as bright and burns as hot as the sunlight itself if he were to actually lift his visor and stare at you.
Really pressing that Cyclops thing. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So, But is there etiquette wise? As long as they accept the drink, they should be fine. They don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, they don't have to
Drink
drink it. It's just
It would be.
it was his gesture to, if I'm going to make everyone stay in the bar so we don't have people coming in and out while I'm here, I'll pay for the food and drink for everyone who wants to be here.
Want to is a loose term.
Very loose.
Here you go, lady. Here's your drinks, ladies. You don't have to drink it,
Oh, I'll drink it.
but
Okay, and I just slide
don't
my mug over to
exactly
her.
want to refuse the king. Kind of rude if you do.
No, but I don't really trust, any more alcohol at this moment. So kind of just push my drink
How do you
over.
not trust alcohol?
I'm a no. I've
I'm
already
just trying to
taken
be
that alcohol.
cautious.
So
There's a lot of
The king
people in
and the
this
queen are
bar.
having kind of a conversation. They're not necessarily being quiet, but you are in a bar. Is anyone trying to actively listen to their conversation, or are you guys just kind of being blissfully obtuse to the conversation that they're having?
This is my first time here. I'm being blissfully obtuse to everything.
I'm being nosy as fuck.
Okay, only perception.
She is my sister.
Facts.
I will also be nosy as fuck.
Perception.
I got a 13.
I might catch the tail end as
Sure.
I
Roll
come
it.
over after serving their drinks.
I'm gonna melt this die.
You're gonna melt it down.
I have 7 total.
Okay.
24.
You're getting lost in the orchestra playing that's going on.
No, I only had a 14.
24. They
Yes.
said. All right. So at the tail end of the conversation, you hear Aurora. She's very soft spoken when she's sitting kind of in the presence with Corvus, and they're having a conversation. You can kind of catch what he's saying, but you really can't catch what she's saying in return. But honey, I know. That's why we're here. It's just like we were asked. We're going to come out. We're going to have dinner. We're going to find some people that can help us. I understand. And then you see her talking, and he kind of, yes. I know.
How close am I allowed to get
I-
when delivering drinks?
You can walk right up to their table. I mean, if you come up with if you're not like delivering something to their table, they obviously will stop their conversation, and Corvus will look up at you.
My sister and I volunteer.
Oh God.
Fuck.
You don't even know the job, eavesdropper.
You don't exactly believe it. No, your wife was, Your Majesty. But you, not so much.
It's not my job to be quiet.
Exactly. But then again, as a bard, it is my job to listen.
I think it's your job to entertain, is it not?
Part of it.
Hmm.
I'm much more than an entertainer.
I'm sure you are. So you'll take the job.
At least my sister and I will.
Without even knowing what it is.
Why not?
Right. Gerald, give her a token.
Seriously?
And the guard that was sitting at the table reaches into inside of a plate of his armor and pulls out what looks to be not unlike a blue, like a poker chip. It's got a gold sunrise, and he hands you the token. And there's two of them. There's two of them there.
About those tokens. Does any familiar?
You know that generally those are given out to people who are invited to the castle, as you have to have one in order to get in, and each one of them are numbered, and they are collected upon your entry and returned back to essentially the guard, the head of the guard.
Are we given 1 or 2?
He gave you 2.
I give my sister the even number. I keep the odd.
Right. I guess we'll expect you this afternoon then. And he looks around and he says,
I kind of bow a little bit. I give his wife a look and say, I hope this helps alleviate your stress a little bit.
and
Miss."
she very quietly says, "Oh, honey, I'm not stressed. He's doing exactly what I need him to do."
Good. I go walking back to the stage, ignoring my sister other than to give her that token because I know she's going to have an absolute shit fit to me. And when I get back up on the stage, I say, the rest of you, if there's anyone else who would like to volunteer on a little bit of adventure and a job, I believe the king is hiring. And I strike up the next song.
I'll do it.
So the king will clear his throat, and he will. You'll see him reach down, and there's like little latches on the side of his armor where it connects to his hips, and he will press them in, and you'll see the whole. There's like a mechanism that will unlock that allows him to stand up, and he will stand up, and he'll say, "Right, since our entertainer has spoiled our surprise."
Surprise!
The queen and I are looking for some assistance.
Don't worry, I'm definitely surprised.
There has been a disappearance inside of the Empire. My guards are not equipped to go handle such things away from the Empire, but I'm looking for some able men and women, and, well, I guess it's open to anyone.
Able bodies.
Yes, that's it.
Some low, suspenseful music is playing, not to overpower him at all, but to give a background tone to what he's saying.
We're looking for some people to handle some dangerous jobs. Any of you who wants to volunteer, you can come see me.
What do we get in return?
I assure you that the Empire will make it worth your while.
Well, in that case, I'm short on money, so I decide to step forward and volunteer to help.
He will, still standing, he'll reach over, hold his hand out, and you'll see a large, polished kind of gauntlet that he's got on his hand. Reach out, and Gerald will put a chip in his hand, and he'll hand it to you. And he says, "Then we'll see you at the keep this afternoon."
All right.
Anyone else?
Still avoiding eye contact with my sister. There's a death glares.
I sigh and stand up and say, I guess I will too.
And then also, which guard had the indigestion problem? Last duck.
What?
Sure. Try this next time. It's abysmal.
He will take it, and he'll be like,
It tastes like chalk, but it'll fix the tummy problems.
he kind of pulls the cork out, and
It's not. It doesn't smell bad. It just not. very
he'll
tasteful.
drink it down.
Yes.
He'll be like,
You have indigestion now?
well, generally when I eat here, I get indigestion.
Oh, okay. Well, my shop's just down the corner. Come see me.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Does your shop have a name?
Return customer.
Yes, it's
The shop around the corner.
Yarby's House of Alchemical Goods.
The shop around the corner.
Yeah, shop around the corner.
I love it.
If the sign says I'm back, I'm there. If it doesn't, I'm not.
Perfect. He will kind of quickly jot down the description on the paper, and the king will hand you a chip.
Thank you, my liege.
Just like they're all numbered, they all have a stamp on the front. And he looks and he says, "Now, see, if you would have left, you wouldn't have had a job." And he hands you a chip.
Look at that.
I take it.
Can I have one for the little one? Because I'm sure he's going to go too.
No, this man's bought me food. Yeah, I'm gonna do a job for him.
Here you are, little one.
It's my kid brother.
Oh, wow.
It's as big as your palm.
I'll say, how big is this coin? Huh?
It's
Okay, so
That's his,
big enough that I can hold it like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
like a chipmunk holding food.
And with that, the king will reach down, grab his
It's
cup,
shiny.
and slam down what is left of his spice cider, and he'll say, "Marcus, we'll take 3 of those. What do you have got back there? You got kegs?" And he goes, "We'll take 3 of those delivered to the palace." And he looks at the guards and he says, "I hope you aren't on duty, Gerald." And Gerald kind of straightens himself up and pulls his shield around to the front of him. And he says, "Of course not, sir." And he says, and then he will hold the chair out in his hand for the queen, and the queen will put her what looks to be little dainty hand in his gauntlet, and he will help her stand up. And she will quickly kind of look around and kind of flash a smile at everybody in the inn, and she'll go, "Well, it's been a pleasure, Marcus. It's been fantastic, and the duck is fabulous." And she's like, "Peter, get the recipe for Marcus for the duck. It has to happen at the palace." And Marcus says, "Well, ma'am, it's kind of a family thing." And she's like, "Just pay Marcus, and we can bring him into the palace, and he'll cook it for us." And Marcus's eyes get real big, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am." And you see Peter and Marcus kind of having a conversation. And well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and for those of you who have the chips, we'll see you later this evening. And
Absolutely.
the guard, there's 4 of them, and 2 of them will file out the door. The queen will go out the door, the king will go out the door, and then 2 of the guards will go out the door. And there is a audible exhale of like the stress level, and the entire inn just goes
Somebody let one out.
right. And we're having an earthquake apparently in the inn.
Apparently.
And with that, we are going to take ourselves to break, and when we come back, we're going to find out what King Corvus and Queen Aurora want with our heroes to help Emberfall in the disappearance from the Empire.
You could stop glaring at me.
We'll be right back.
No. Let's go.
And welcome back. When we left off, our adventuring group was starting to get pulled together, and they all contained tokens that would allow them entrance to the palace that was given to them by King Corvus. You still had a few hours before you had to meet at the palace, so knowing that you all contained the tokens that allowed you entrance, what do you all do?
My sister's slinking off to the stage. I'm going to grab her before she gets up there.
Consider yourself grabbed before you get up there.
Yes. So look up.
Again?
What? You heard it. Tell me you've heard them.
Again.
It's money, it's fame, it's fortune, and it's one more step toward being in a throne like them.
That's you. You're going to get us killed.
Oh,
Yes, you are.
I'm going to make us legends, is what I'm going to do.
You know what happened to legends?
They never die.
They die.
I
Hate
like
to
him.
break it to you.
You're correct. Legends never die.
I mean, they do die.
I'm sure their stories live on, but
Their stories live on. That's what makes them legends.
A good legend never dies. And if your name is continuing on and on through the mouths of bards and through different people all across the world, worth it. Completely worth it.
Who cares about that? Think about all the food you could get. Like all that roast duck just like on hand. Like,
At all times.
I like that.
yes.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
you know what? I
Well,
will make sure you're fed on this journey. I'm not
Hmm.
actually sure. If we go somewhere, we'll make sure we get food. I eat here for free. I never get food.
All right. Well, I'm an excellent at with my guns, so I'll make sure to do my best and make sure that you are well protected. I feel like that's a fair deal.
I feel like that's how they
I
do.
think you've stepped in something that you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into.
Probably, but you know, that's how I usually am.
As her sister, I can tell you this is going to be a problem.
I'm kind of overhearing this conversation. I'm like, I'm gonna go get extra supplies.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go take my pony cake, take it home.
Uh-huh.
You
Bring-
coming with me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make sure you're coming.
No, I'm sticking by like
And then,
yes.
take the pony cake. We'll go.
So you
See,
see,
look at this.
you see
You're showing
Rin,
your scars. Really.
Yes.
Rin and Philip just kind of start slinking away from the group.
See you all in a little while.
With just fistfuls of cider, as much as we can carry. Just
That's not very much for
Any
you, huh?
drinks that weren't you?
no, but
You have like a pint. And it's like,
mug.
yeah.
Well,
I wonder if he's hardy. Maybe I could throw him.
Hey.
he
All right,
knows
so
about
you get to
legends.
the front
We'll
of the shop around the corner.
Yeah.
Rent Emporium.
Rent's house of stuff
Yeah.
and things that
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah. Rent's house of stuff and things that you need.
Some might be magic.
Things.
So he walks up, flips the little sign, and opens the door and walks right in.
Still freaks me out. I get magic and all, but the sign thing, it's
It works.
So what do you grab? I will say you have 8 healing elixirs that you could take from the back that aren't going to impede your shop's inventory. And then you have your normal assortment of bombs and assorted gear that you normally bring with you.
That seems fair. If we need more than that, we're probably screwed anyway. I mean, like, I'm not even a field medic. I'm like the minute clinic type. Hey, the temperature. You're probably gonna go see a cleric.
You need anything more than an aspirin, you're going to die.
Drink this abysmal.
It fixes everything.
Apparently.
It's the Tussin
There you
of
go.
this world.
All right. So you grab your stuff. Philip, you see him just kind of like reaching up, grabbing things, and putting them in a bandolier that runs across his chest, and he's just kind of loading this thing up as he's got vials and different tinctures and admixtures and reagent pouches and stuff on him as he's walking around his shop going, yep, and we'll need 4 of these and 6 of those, and just kind of talking to himself and picking everything up.
Do any of these bottles in particular call to me?
I mean,
Let's be honest, I probably can't carry multiple, but
you know what a elixir of life looks like. You know what a healing potion looks like.
I
There's,
do.
There's those on the shelves.
I will grab whichever one's closest in height to me.
Okay.
Because I probably shouldn't be grabbing it, but if it's loose, I'm probably not gonna. Yes, I don't care if I'm a medic, if I'm still small and.
It's always good to have backup. And can I make a perception check to see that he's stealing from my shop?
I'm not a thief.
21.
Yep, you got me there.
You see him?
I say shit.
He's just
Now my tiptoes.
He's up on his
Now my tiptoes and everything. He even helps me. I'm so into looking for this bottle. He even helps me get the damn thing.
Just hand it to him and keep going.
he's kind of like trying to nudge it out with his fingertips.
I'm so entranced in the bottle. I don't even see his hand in all the light around it. Just like tip it off the shelf.
All right. So you have an elixir of life.
Thank you.
Heals for a d6.
I'm gonna walk behind the counter and stomp on the spot and grab his bag.
Okay.
Don't forget this. Just the thing.
He tosses you your emerald with your bag.
Oh, with the bag?
Mhm.
I stuffed my.
It's all tied, so it won't open. You know.
Oh. Well,
It's the bag.
I turn around.
You have a traveling bag, like a backpack.
Oh, well, then I stuff the
Oh.
elixir of life in the bag.
Sure.
And then when he throws me the bag, I untie it and I put my coin in there. So he sees that I'm still using this bag, but he doesn't see that I have the elixir in my bag.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you get everything in your bag and it's flipped shut and you got it on your bag. You've got your bandolier loaded, ready to go. And you've got your pouches of reagents. And you head back out of the shop.
Yep.
Flip the sign.
Flip the sign. There was locked.
Door's locked.
I don't try it this time. I'm holding my bag tight to me.
If I die, don't touch the sign. Or don't try to touch the sign.
Why? What happens when you touch the sign?
Bad things will happen to you if you try to touch the sign.
Oh. Okay.
It's
Well, that's all.
my sign.
The sign already does things I don't fully understand. I'm not touching the sign after.
The rest of you, as Rin and Philip kind of walked off to go get themselves together, what do you guys do as you guys are just kind of just standing literally just outside of the inn?
Go home and pack.
Do what?
Gonna go home and pack.
Okay.
As long as you're going to let go of me.
If you're standing outside, then yes, I've already let go of you.
You know,
Yeah, go grab my things and head to the castle.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be me chastising you? I'm the older one.
Next time that I run into danger and it's my fault, not your fault, then you can chastise me.
You always run into danger.
Right.
You get really
But it's
angry and
still-
you go running in.
But it's still usually your
Swinging.
fault.
You can't blame all your fights on me.
Actually, I think I can.
No, there was the one in. No, that was. I might have said that.
Do we want to meet somewhere, perhaps?
Always meet back at the inn.
And then head there together. At least us ladies, since the gentleman walked off.
We've already talked off. We didn't even.
And we can eat beforehand, you got to have that energy. So
Her and Kirby would be best friends.
Maybe it's just a dwarf thing.
It might be.
Is it
maybe.
society?
They just
Is that a dwarf thing?
What was that?
Are they hungry?
Very well could be. Drinking is definitely a dwarf thing, but she definitely seems to have a supernatural interest in food.
I don't know. Just something about it just gives me that energy and strength I need to get through my day. So
Yeah, I got you.
Stone anybody?
plus it's yummy.
So, fellas, you make your way back to the inn, and you see the ladies have already gone to go get their stuff. You just
They didn't
kinda
even
hang out,
wait for us.
You guys are taking too
We
long.
didn't wait for you.
What? We were coming back.
So we're currently at the bar.
Mhm.
I'll have a cider.
Perfect.
A warm cider.
Barwitch will bring it out to you. And she'll bring it to you outside. Here you go, honey. Just leave the cup out here when you're done. If you don't want to bring it back in, it's
Oh,
fine. I'll get it.
Your service is always amazing. I'll bring it back in. It's
Oh, wow.
no trouble at all.
It's nothing.
Fair enough. Don't want to make this too awkward.
Don't worry. All right, so you guys all go grab all of your traveling gear and all the
Mhm.
things that you would expect to try to need without getting literally any information at all as to what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's that.
So,
Pack light.
Look, I like adventure, and why not?
so you
I
all
think she's
kind of
trying to get me killed.
converge back at the inn.
Trying to get you killed.
The ladies approach and they see Ren and Patrick sitting on the outside of the inn drinking.
As we're
I don't know
approaching,
who Patrick is.
you all heard me talking to my sister. Look, there was that time in Dromathan in.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
it was not mine. That one was all you. It was a dive bar. It was horrible. It was on the edge of the water, and there was sailors, and then oh yeah.
Yep, that was you.
Drinking my cider, minding my own business.
Okay, look, that technically was not mine. That
As
was-
you take a drink,
that
it
was-
covers your face.
He didn't tell me he was married. Okay, so that was not
I now
my
have a
fault.
foam
That was-
mustache.
Does it curl?
It definitely curls.
Not my fault.
Still your fault. Still because of you.
This is going to be fun.
All right.
It's going to be
Sorry.
So you
fantastic.
guys gather yourself together outside the inn,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are finishing your drinks if you've had them. If you want food to go, the inn will provide it for you. As you're leaving, they'll give you warm traveling rations for the your first day's worth of traveling.
Oh, thank God.
Sounds good.
They will hook you up.
I'll take hookups. Wait. Yes.
So
Tell them quietly. I'll just say, perhaps a little more for the dwarf. She seems to really love.
sure, they'll give you the extra helping.
Oh, much appreciated.
Of course. All right. So you guys are making your way from the edge of the Sundial district to where the palace sits. The palace sits just kind of not on the far end of the town from the Phoenix Gate, so kind of the opposite end of where Philip was when we started. So you have to walk through the Sundial district. You have to walk past the Dreamwell Oasis as you're heading to the palace. As you're walking past the Dreamwell Oasis, you all know, maybe not Philip if you've not been in the town, but it is a cool spring watered oasis. And it is said that people will pilgrimage to this town if they are seeking to remember, restore memories, or find out about themselves to come to this oasis as you walk by. Looks very enchanting, like very relaxing, nice place. It's kind of like a naturally looking spot with a cool water oasis in the people are milling about. As you pass through the oasis, does anyone want to stop, or do you just want to keep trucking and head to the palace?
I mean, as we're going through, there's people about,
Of
so
course there are.
I'm pickpocketing.
Okay. How many times would you like to try?
Oh boy.
We'll say 3 this time.
3. Roll them.
19. Oh, that's a 10. That's 26.
Okay. You get 8 more pieces of gold.
Best rogue ever.
Worst roll ever. I literally rolled a 3, a 6, and a 2.
Yes.
Those sound great.
Yeah, they're great.
And
For
good
you.
combat at it.
I mean, it worked for my 10.
Right?
And it'd be like you
Yeah.
like roll like a 35 and stuff.
All right. So you guys don't want to stop or anything in the oasis. You're just going to keep trucking. So as you work your way through the oasis, you come across what is known as the Obsidian Bazaar. This is a marketplace that has been quarried into the side of a rock formation in the side of an active volcano. So the city sits on the side
Oh,
of a volcano on a plateau.
nice.
So
That seems smart.
right.
I like it.
Yeah,
But it has largely been an inactive volcano since any of you can remember. And if you have any historians in the town, the volcano has only ever erupted once, and that's what made the plateau that the city was actually built upon. And it was centuries ago that the volcano erupted. Inside this bazaar, you see stalls and marketplace and people selling things exactly like you would think of any kind of marketplace or bazaar. But you see, as you're walking through the bazaar, you see fire dancers and people that have swords that are lit on fire, and they're spinning them and doing all sorts of tricks and things like that as they're, spinning these fire blades. They have ropes that are lit on fire that they're spinning and doing all kinds of things like that. And people are just kind of casually standing around watching their performances as they do these things and going through. As you work your way through the bazaar, you will notice, for those of you who live here, they have sun-dried dates and things like that in the bazaar. Things that are you see in warm climates. These are probably newer to you. You
Very
may
much.
know what these things are. You may have had them, but
I've never seen them in such abundance.
Exactly. You've not seen like stalls of these things. So it's kind of like, you're a kid in the candy store.
Oh, these are small. Can I steal some?
You can certainly try. How many would you like to take?
I want 5.
You want 5?
I want 5.
Dates
Okay.
are pretty big.
Wait, how big are dates?
They're about that big.
I want 2.
Okay. Roll.
I apparently have never seen a date in my adult life, and
Oh.
They're
If
quite
they're
delicious.
smaller.
That is true.
I mean, it's basically sugar.
Mm, Nope.
What'd you get?
You already attempted.
A 4 and an 11. Did I get my dates?
You got one of the dates. And as you go to reach up to grab the second one, in a gruff voice, you hear, "You better be paying for that, boy."
I got it. Sorry, he's new.
Oh, thanks.
He's my third cousin, twice removed.
You should probably teach him some manners.
I mean, he's new to the area. I'll work on it. Sorry about that.
Thank you. This food looks delicious, sir.
And he kind of scrapes the gold off, or the coin off of the
I thought he took my date.
the coin off of the table and puts it in a pouch. And he's like, "Go on with you, thief,
Kid.
boy."
Wait.
Boy.
You got to get better.
I'm
at
gonna
that.
earn a scar because of him.
All right.
Always bad.
Cultural difference.
As you are
I really
exiting
should.
the Obsidian Bazaar, there is a very large black obsidian gate, which kind of marks the edge of the market that kind of exits out of the marketplace and into, like you've thrown a switch, into like the palace district of this place. Very strange for the market to be next to the palace district. So it's almost like a culture shock when you walk through the gate into the palace district. You go from walking on rock, kind of compacted rock floor ground, to cobblestone type streets and well manicured buildings and sidewalks and like everything you could think of, trimmed bushes and trees and all of the opulence you would think of in a palace district.
The air's cleaner.
100%. As you approach the palace, the building sits kind of on the upper end of the plateau. So the plateau itself is down below. Then the palace is kind of literally carved into the side of the mountain, and the palace kind of overlooks the rest of the city. As you approach, there's kind of a winding path that goes up the plateau and kind of back and forth a couple of times before you get to the stairwell to the palace as you approach. And there are dark kind of onyx or obsidian braziers that are kind of look like maybe like dragon claws that are holding fires that are lit as you approach.
Well, that's menacing.
I don't think it's your taste.
All right,
Don't think my taste.
I need perception checks from everyone, please.
You ought to be on mine.
You fail me, die.
Mm.
I'm going to talk to your owner and have them melt you down.
Oh, crap.
We need to talk.
20.
It rolled a 2. It's taunting me.
Ouch.
Apparently. You did just threaten it.
All right,
I got a
Leave that one.
14.
14,
We pass that over.
24.
24,
22.
22.
Who's it going to?
Me.
Perception,
20.
20,
18.
18,
7.
7.
Oh.
All right. As you guys are walking into the palace district, approaching
painful.
the
Mm.
escalated
Are you giving one?
stairs that approach, you see regiments of guards in packs of 4 walking, kind of in a. If you stop and watch it, it's probably in a systematic little routine. They all have shields, they all have swords on their back, they all have very shiny armor with the sun rays coming up off their chest. And they don't mind you they don't pay you any attention as you walk into the palace district. They just will patrol the area. If you will like make contact, eye contact, and make any kind of gesture, then they will acknowledge you, but they won't talk to you and they won't like stop and entertain a conversation for what they're doing. And they're very militant with their walk. They all kind of walk together like they've been, trained to do so.
Weird.
How's your date?
Delicious.
What did you say?
It's free to me.
Nothing.
Sorry.
His date. All right. Do you do anything between walking through the district and getting to the palace, other than taking in all the sights of the palace district?
Taking it all in.
Okay.
No, I've
Getting
stolen.
ideas
I've
of the
stolen
place.
enough stuff. I can't fit anymore. I'm just gonna enjoy my date and
So as you finally approach the final set of stairs that lead up into the palace, there are very opulent black doors with gold essentially framing around the door and a blue tapestry that kind of hangs in front of them. The tapestry has the sunrise with the rays on it, and you see a couple of guards standing there at the doors, big shields, and these guards have big pole arm type weapons, like a spear almost in their hand, standing in front of the door. State your business.
I hold up the token.
We've been invited.
I take my spear and I stand like them.
All right, can we get into the chocolate factory now, Willy Wonka?
Right? Who's got the lowest number?
I take my spear and I stand like them again.
Don't know what number.
Oh, there's numbers on the.
Yeah, on chips. I assume she does.
I stay
Do I?
I stay puffed
Depends
up.
if
Roll off.
you kept the odd number, right?
Yes,
Oh,
So you have number one.
that would be me.
This way. And he motions with his hand for you to step forward.
We're not all going together. Oh, security first, right?
He takes the chip and he says, what weapons do you have?
Um. Oh, it's in my bag. My sister has my rapier. That's all I have.
Right. And he writes on a piece of paper. And he says, put that on your weapon.
There you go. I really don't know when I.
In the box.
oh,
Inside.
okay.
Okay.
2. Takes the chip. He looks at it. It's on it. Weapon. Here you go. In the box.
In the box. Hold on. I think that's it.
Inside. 3.
Pulling stuff at it everywhere.
Oh.
Takes your chip. Lets you put all the stuff in the box. Inside.
More dagger.
I guess that's me.
Okay.
Take the guns out.
He hands you the thing for you can label them and put your name on them. Takes your chip. Inside. 5.
I stand like the guards again.
I have a rapier.
Put it in the box.
Oh,
Inside. 6.
my finger was covering part of it.
Hands you the paper to put your name and whatever on it and in the box. Inside. And then you'll hear kind of like like clanging the spear on his chest, and then someone will come out and will pick the box up and will walk behind you carrying the box.
Well, I could have just brought that.
By the way, I'm Siswick.
I'm Megara, but you can call me Meg.
Siswick Firebrand. This is my sister Inferna. Ren. I know. Been in your shop.
Marie.
Marie. And you?
Philip.
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 Pleasure to meet all of you. I have a feeling we're going to be the best of friends.
I have a feeling she's crazy.
Me too.
Not at all.
Oh,
Right.
She heard you.
My head.
She has really good hearing, and
Heard
if
you.
she
I
doesn't
mean-
hear you, I will.
Without hearing
I
things.
mean,
Yeah.
yell. Continuously.
All right. So as you approach, you walk into a big foyer type of entryway. There's marble floor, and the whole place is just anything that you could think of to spend money on. These people spent money on, and
a dragon's hoard of money to pay for all this. Can you imagine?
the same gentleman who announced the arrival of the king and queen in the inn will approach your group. Welcome, esteemed travelers. The king and queen will be with you momentarily. You can wait for them in the library.
A library.
Ah, shit.
Thanks, Pete.
Yes, very well. It's just through these doors, and he goes over and opens the door.
Oh, I rush right.
As the well, excuse you, as the door opens, you see the stagnant air of like a library that probably has never been used. The doors fling open,
All the book
mahogany
dust
shelves
settles.
from wall to ceiling, from floor to ceiling, just full of books.
It's gonna get used
And it's
now.
just, I mean, you have the little ladders on the spindles that allow you to kind of slide around the bookshelves.
I immediately climb a ladder and push off.
Ladders have dust on them. They don't
Doesn't
look like
matter.
they've been used, but it glides effortlessly
Sure does.
as you zip around the library.
This is like showroom library.
He goes in and he will walk over and he will pull out a matchstick and he will light a couple of the candelabras in the middle of the room, but nothing more. Just like one big kind of candelabra in the middle of the room.
We need to get invited to the palace more often.
He says, "Have a seat. The king and queen will be with you momentarily."
Are we free to peruse the library while we wait?
Sure.
Thank you.
Just don't take anything. It's all recorded.
Oh,
Great.
I've already pulled a book and I'm looking through it.
And he will kind of quietly step out of the room.
Oh boy.
Reddit. Reddit.
All right. So as you peruse this library, you will see ancient texts on the interaction of the magic, the weave. Like there's just different like arcane texts that you would think would have been lost when you go to open it. The book itself looks too old to actually exist. And as you kind of interact with these things, you get the sense that there's some kind of residual magic in this room that's kind of keeping these books from falling apart.
mhm.
Some of these books are that old. So you all kind of sit and gather in the room. You're probably there maybe an awkward 15, 20 minutes. Like,
Not like that at all.
They could at least feed us when we wait.
and you will
Damn.
you'll find yourself in an awkward, and it kind of like it starts to get awkward, but it's not exactly awkward.
I'll make it.
It's easy to make it awkward.
I've picked up a book and I'm ignoring literally everybody else.
Okay.
I'm gonna start singing poorly.
What do you pick up to read?
Some book of fairy tales.
You will find a book that speaks of a lost strand of the weave. And that's about as close as you can get.
Trying to skim through it as much as I can.
Yeah. It refers to the lost strand or the forgotten strand, and it kind of dances on the subject. It doesn't really clarify anything, but it talks about a lost strand of the weave or a forgotten strand of the weave. And right about the time that the book kind of starts getting interesting, the doors of the library will come back open, and the same gentleman will enter, and he'll say, "Ladies and gentlemen, the king and queen will have you now. After you, please make sure you return your books to where they belong." And he stands there and just kind of awkwardly blinks his eyes.
Is the timing a little weird, or is it just unnatural?
It's
What's
just like
weird
he's impatient. He's just kind of like,
oh, okay. Like I have better
Like,
things to
get
do
out of
than
the
whatever.
library now.
right.
I'm the first one out of the library.
All right, Mr.
Does
Grumpy
anyone
Giggles.
attempt to try and keep their book or not put the book back where you got it from?
I don't remember where I got my book.
Okay. So what do you do with it? You just lay it down where you want?
I look at him
Putting things down.
and I look at the book. I look around the room and I said, "Where did the fairy tales go?"
Ernest Silverwood. S. There.
Put the book back and I walk out of the room.
As I'm walking back to put mine up, I'm still flicking through, looking for anything that looks familiar. And very grudgingly, you put it up.
Okay.
Since it was pointed out, I was going to lay it down on the table because absent-minded, bad ADHD, you know.
All right. So as you leave, he will kind of just, with his arm, just kind of like usher everybody out of the room, and then he will pull the door shut behind you back into the main foyer area where you walked into originally. And he says, just through there, please.
I go first.
Okay. Do you just go up and open the door? He does not approach the door.
Do we
Okay.
do we open our own door this time?
He opens the door, and you open the door to what looks to be a long corridor. And in the corner of the corridor that is furthest from you is the box that contains all of your weapons and armaments.
This is creepy.
Microwatch. Microwatch. Give me the battle screen, please.
Oh.
So as you enter the room, this is what you see. You see a long corridor with two guards standing at the end to an open door. There are two guards on an elevated platform standing above them, and you see statues lining the wall of this corridor. And you see what looks to be just lit, unbridled, uncontained, just flame just kind of shooting into the corridor. Your box of your equipment is on the other side of the flame you see there on the left, just under that guard to the little platform that he is standing on. The distance between where you are and to that box is about 35 feet. You're going in first?
I just opened the door.
Okay, so what do? You open the door. This is what you see.
So it's 35 feet.
35 feet into the room to the box. The gentleman says, after you.
Okay. Start walking.
Never mind.
Start walking into the room. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next.
You want to be on her left or her right?
I'll be on her right.
Walking in?
Walking you in? Alrighty. Where do you want to be? The other side?
Behind my sister.
Behind your sister? All right. So you're not quite in the room yet. She's standing in the door.
While they were doing this,
Soft and
I've
squishy in the
stealthed.
back.
Okay, roll me stealth.
18.
18. The gentleman goes,
I figured that wasn't high enough. I mean, I'm walking in the room.
Where would you
So
like-
the other side of her.
we have Ren
Gentlemen?
and Philip.
I'm not going last. I'm not staying out here by myself.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, we're going in together.
Okay. Where would you like to go?
Be at the back. Since I'm not really a take damage kind of guy. It's not my thing.
You want to be next to the bard?
Yeah. And then, he could be either next to me or on the other side.
All right. So the front line of people that you can see on the screen there, you guys are affectionately 35 feet from your weapons and armor. The row behind them that you can't see on the screen, you are 40 feet from your weapons and armor. You have your armor. You don't have your weapon. So your equipment that you would need is in the box. The gentleman kind of walks up behind the row of you that are there and says, "Come on now, in the room."
It's awfully pushy.
Cautiously
Walking in.
looking.
Okay.
This looks like a trap.
Do you?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think forward.
It's suspicious.
What, you seriously think it's a trap?
Maybe
Does everyone step forward,
Yeah.
or does anyone not move?
I move.
moving. It feels like the gauntlet. Some sort of test. That's what it feels like.
Oh, possibly.
I mean, it's a cool feature to have. Because if you get murked here, then oh well,
All right,
No loss, right?
they don't have to pay you.
Microwatch. Give me the
Okay.
overhead view, please.
I don't know if it's gonna work right.
It will work, right? I believe it.
You believe in it?
Beautiful.
So, as you walk in, you find yourself in a corridor that is made of black onyx stone that runs the floor. And then above it, you see kind of a cream colored building with vent windows that are on the corners of this room. As you enter the room, the gentleman says, "The king and queen will see you now." And he shuts the door behind you. And you hear,
I knew that was coming.
Oh,
Ash?
Well, this is fun.
and you hear the king's voice go, "Approach."
Walking forward.
So you all walk forward into the
Past
room.
past your human shield,
Does
or
anyone,
with
does
your
anyone
human
not
shield?
move from where they are? Does everyone walk forward?
I mean, we have to walk forward.
So come forward.
All right,
You going
we're gonna
to
walk
this very king?
straight. Well, maybe.
Oh, I don't think that's a very good idea if you participate.
Okay. So you all approach.
Mhm.
The king is standing here.
Can you push the world down a little bit?
I can push the world down a little bit. Is that better?
You can, keep going.
Doesn't quite work like that.
That's better.
All right. So the king is standing right here. And he stands and he has his big ass shield and his visor is lowered over his eyes. The gentleman standing next to him is Gerald, the guy that had the tokens that he was standing next to in the bar. And you see the gentleman up on the platforms were two more of the other guards that were in the bar. And Corvus says, "Right. Alana Frank is the Brightwalker archivist and she has gone missing. Your job is to find her. We believe she's been abducted by the Sunstone cultist.
Oh.
But I tell you this. If you can't take my guards, you will surely die to the cultist. Good luck. And he turns around and walks through a door.
Well,
And you
shit.
hear
So you might want to get your weapon.
the door shut. Boom. And then
Oh,
Going to get my weapon.
I need initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I go first.
That's when you want. That's when you want your barbarian to go. Okay, we're gonna start with. I don't know that we have anybody that can get this high, but we'll do 30 to 25.
No.
I rolled a nat. So
What does that give you total?
26.
20.
Yay, that's 20. Woo!
Hence the I go first.
Okay. Then after you will be with a 23 will be Gerald, unless anyone else higher than 23.
24.
24.
Ooh.
Philip. Then Gerald. Then guards here will go on a 21 unless anyone is higher than that. $20. 15 to 20.
17.
16.
17.
Did anybody get over 17?
16s.
16.
Who has the higher dex? I bet you're pretty close.
I have 4.
You've got me beat if you've got 4.
Okay. Ren.
12.
All right.
Yeah. I see the
All right.
new
So
dice
your
are
order,
treating you well.
is
Ish.
Inferna, Philip, Gerald, guards 1 and 2, Meg, Marie, Siswick, and Ren.
Are they in between me and my weapon?
If you step out of the square you are currently in, you are here. Gerald is here. He'll be able to hit you if you try to step toward the box, which is here. But no, there's nothing actually impeding you from getting to the box.
Except for Gerald.
Except for Gerald.
Well, he said beat my guards.
He sure did.
We're gonna Gerald and I are gonna get close.
Okay.
I'm grabbing him.
All right. Roll me athletics.
Not so great. 14.
That will not get his passive.
Well,
He says, "Keep your hands to yourself, young lady," and he just kind of shrugs his shield up to where you would go to grab him.
can I tumble past him?
You certainly can try.
Is it athletics again?
It is athletics.
Okay. Let me try
no,
something else.
acrobatics.
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 Well, not so good at that one. Definitely not so good about that one. I rolled 1.
Super
So-
duper.
Right into him.
You absolutely. You go to tumble through his square, and you just fall right on kind of into his square, and he will take a swipe at you with his gauntlet with a 16.
He misses.
Okay, he just kind of And
Is this
that
how
for
we're
you?
gonna do? Are we just gonna like swipe back and forth at each other? And
It's called dancing, sister.
that is definitely not what this
Gerald
is.
says, I believe it's against proper manners if you are unarmed for me to fight you while I'm armed.
Oh, never mind. He would never be your dance partner.
Philip, your turn, sir.
After that comment, how close am I to that fire?
You're 5 feet away from that fire.
I am 5 feet away from that fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much this is going to do for us, but it's entertaining to me.
Sure.
I reach out and grab that fire, taking the fire damage, reacting to eat fire,
Mhm.
and I'm going to belch and 20 feet of just smoke. We are now all concealed in smoke.
Okay, so 20 foot based on you.
Fun.
I do believe so.
Okay, so the whole room fills with smoke, and you essentially
Yes.
kind of snuff out this fire here. So half of the room kind of goes dark as you now kind of realize that most of the light in the room is coming from those fire
Oh,
pieces that are there.
Hmm.
But the whole room is full of smoke now.
well, I can see. I'm sorry about the rest of you.
Is this low light?
I can
Hmm?
see
Is this low light or
You're currently in low light right now.
okay?
no issues there.
It's more the smoke that's creating the
Yeah.
issue for the rest of you.
Okay, that take one action or two.
Sorry.
You're good.
That was actually, I guess I would take one action to touch the fire,
Okay.
and then it's a reaction to eat the fire.
Okay, so you have 2 actions left.
I will go ahead and actually. Where is the mass concentration of them within a 10-foot space that will not touch me? I believe 10
You
foot.
have one guy here.
10 foot.
You have one guy up here and one guy over here. Oh, sorry. So you have a guy here, and then there's guys basically
actually,
up here on this stage and up
Sorry.
here on the other stage.
even better idea. I have another thing. I do.
Okay.
Tanglevine on the one guy that has a name.
They all have
Harold?
names.
Gerald.
Gerald. Thank you guys. Gerald.
The
The one guy
staring
stopping
at?
us from getting to the box. The impediment. Impedance?
He said he wasn't stopping us.
Well,
What?
I'm making sure.
Okay.
So you're going to put a tanglefoot bag on him.
Yep, I'm just gonna hold his foot, not tight, just
Okay. What does that save?
Those feet.
uh
He rolled a 1, so it doesn't matter.
oh, okay.
So what does he have? He's got a reduced movement speed, right?
10-foot penalty for 1 round.
Okay. So he has a 20-foot movement speed now.
Okay. Yay.
Okay, so he throws out a what looks to be a bunch of like seedlings and saplings, and they land on the ground, and they just kind of sprout roots across the ground, and they just go over and under and around Gerald's legs, and he's like scummy, and he's kind of like kicking his feet at the roots that are on the ground. That's it for you.
I can't throw the little guy
All right.
unless he gets teeth.
Gerald will he has 20 feet of movement, and he will move over directly in front of the box. Jenny,
Why
if
did
you
it
would
slow
like
him down at all?
if you would like attack to hit him as he leaves, he will
Oh,
move
is he
over to the
leaving?
box to try to step out of your square.
Leaving her square.
Oh.
Um.
All my
Yes.
spirit
Okay.
However, I don't have the unarmed stuff on here, so sorry.
You're good.
At At least a 23.
You got him.
I don't know what fists would
Should be your d20 plus your strength.
Mhm.
Plus,
No, that was the hit. So damage.
and then plus you should have a +2 because you should be trained with your fist.
Okay.
What she doesn't know
Damage.
roll
For damage.
Damage.
Oh, you're doing a d4
D4.
Mhm.
Okay. Plus strength.
plus strength.
5.
Okay. So you rear back and you punch him right in the mouth, and he goes and just kind of flicks the blood from his mouth where you punched him kind of on the floor where he was standing. And he walks over to the square and he draws the weapon that he has on his back, and he stands and he holds the rest of his action.
Oh God.
Oh, seriously?
Now he's impeding us.
Guards 1 and 2
All
on the
right.
top will pull crossbows, and they'll hold the remainder of their actions. Meg, you're up.
I think I will try to sneak to the box
Okay.
while everybody else is distracted and the smoke is still going. I'm gonna
Perfect.
try to get my best weapons, which are my guns.
Okay.
So I'll roll for perception.
You can roll your sneak or stealth.
I think I'll go sneak.
Okay.
19.
Plus whatever you have in stealth.
Mm-hmm. 25.
From the best of your ability, you are pretty sure that no one has any idea where you are.
Dwarf just disappeared.
So you
The
have
dwarf disappeared.
you're only 15 feet away from that box, but all of the squares around the box are being occupied by somebody. So someone is going to have to move for you to be able to get in there, or you're going to have to tumble through 2 squares to grab your pistols and then tumble out of the way.
Okay.
So you're going to need to roll 2 acrobatics checks to get through the squares, grab your pistols, and end up behind Marie.
Okay. So I will do that. So 19 for the first one.
You're definitely through the first square. Roll again.
22.
You grab your dagger or your guns, and you will pop out right back here behind Marie, and you are pretty positive that no one has any idea that you have gotten your weapons or even moved.
Good. And I will keep them concealed on me and make sure that they do not know that I have my weapons now.
All right. We will find our way to Marie.
Box is right next to me.
The box is right in front of you.
I reach in for my rapier.
Gerald goes,
Slaps you with this sword.
he looks at you, and he looks at you until you touch the weapon. Do you continue to pull it out of the box? Because he's looking at you. You reach in, you put your hand on the weapon, and his eyes go.
I do, but I pull it out quickly so that I'm like blocked.
Okay. He will release his held action.
I figured.
And he will swing at you. Because now you're armed.
Now I am.
He rolls an 18.
He does not hit me.
He rolls an 18.
Oh shit.
That's 23.
Oh well, he hits me then.
Yeah.
It's not a critical though.
It's not a critical.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of damage though.
You take 9 damage.
Ooh.
Do
And
they appear to be playing for keeps, or is this?
this is the first time you've swung the weapons. You really can't tell whether he's putting all he's got into it or not, or he's
I mean, does
he's drawing blood.
Like,
Okay.
can we see it through smoke?
I mean, you can see if there's action going on, and you obviously probably hear Marie.
I mean, you can
wince in
smell
pain.
blood.
Huh?
Smell blood in the air.
Oh, absolutely. So it's
I
one
mean,
action to grab your
I
weapon.
did punch him.
I'm gonna swing at him. 26.
That'll hit him.
That's 10 points damage.
10 points of damage. Real good.
Nice.
You hear him go, oh.
And then I'm going to acrobatics out of there so that I'm out of the way for other people to get their weapons.
Roll it.
21.
With ease. Where do you want to go?
Just on the other side of that thing with the red on top.
So here?
The thing with the red on top?
Oh, so here? This thing with the red on top?
Yep, that's the one.
All right. We find ourselves at Siswick.
Hey,
I assume that's her.
first and foremost, you hear my voice ring out. These hills are alive with the sounds of battle, with swords and crossbows. We will win this day. And with that, you all get from my courageous anthem +1 to attack rolls, damage rolls, and your saves versus fear effects. That's one thing. Second, I'm going to get to the box.
Okay.
Oh,
So you-
acrobatics in there. Don't want him to.
Okay.
Well, there's still a bunch of smoke. Yes?
Correct.
I just made a bunch of noise over here. Maybe he won't see me get over there and I can get my sister's axe. And my rapier. Probably not. Would you like a stealth or a thievery?
Stealth for it to go unnoticed to get over and get it. 12. All right. So you see Gerald go and watch you move, and you see this guard here
Gerald's really a pain in the ass.
kind of follow you with his crossbow. And which one looks like they hurt more?
Would hurt more.
Probably Gerald.
Okay. Perfect.
The guy with the crossbow will release his held action, and he will take a shot at you. That's 19 on the die. That would be a 22.
That's going to hit.
You take 5. As you hear, boing, and the crossbow fires a bolt as it slams into your right shoulder.
Dare you?
Ow.
Yeah.
Is the appropriate response.
No, how
I
dare you is
offended that
appropriate.
you struck me with it. Okay.
That's 2 of them. Right by the box.
Mhm.
Within Jared's striking distance
Yeah.
of me. Oh. Yep. I'm going to there's a weird crackling in the air. It seems to come from near your heads, and you hear this slight ringing. And I really don't want you standing over the box when we're trying to get our weapons. How fair is that? And telekinetic projectile weapons out of the box at Gerald.
Okay.
Still attack against him. That's a 22.
You got him?
All right, dice, yeah. That would be 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage.
Mhm.
Okay. You hear Gerald kind of wince as the weapons kind of scattergun out of the box, and now they're flung all over the floor in the room.
Where did my sisters go?
Can't really tell. It's in the smoke now.
Was I able to? I guess it. Yeah, I could probably get it. I was going to say, I'm not sure if I could lift it that. But I can.
Ren?
Visibly annoyed. So
Bottles.
my bandolier
Mhm.
of potentially explosive, dangerous, and vile things
Mhm.
was just heaved.
Eat it out of the box.
No,
Heated
weapons
out of the box.
specifically. I didn't see your bandolier as a weapon.
Is it in the box?
Are
Or
you
is
going,
it-
are you going to move and go find out?
I mean, I have low light vision, so
Okay.
can I still see?
You can still see.
All right, fine. I'm gonna move.
There's not anyone directly opposing your movement. You're 10 feet away from the box.
So if I move into the threatened square, I'm fine. It's when I move out of it, yes, right?
Correct.
All right.
Or through it. Kind of a thing.
Well, moving into it is not through it.
Correct.
I'm gonna move into it,
So,
reach in, look for my stuff.
okay, so you step kind of in this area and you go to reach in. Your bandolier's in there.
Awesome.
You reach down and put your hand on the bandolier and you hear the crossbow from this kind of, you hear the guy spin toward you and he'll loose his arrow and he will roll a 4. And you'll hear clink, clink, clink as the bolt bounces off the corner of the building that you're in.
It bounced 3 times. That was impressive. You suck. I seem to say. So I'm gonna grab that as that action because I don't have time to put it on. I'm going to grab everyone's favorite bottled lightning, and as I'm gonna pull the item out of the box, grab it, and I'm gonna chuck it right at the guy who flanked me. I tried to.
Okay. The guard, he's up in the top of the stairwell there. Okay.
Do I?
Roll-
I gotta roll for that.
Roll your to hit. Yep.
Hi, I forgot to play. 17 plus. I actually have that written down. I'm hitting him and not the thing, so I just have to go against his AC. So I guess it's my Dex mod plus 1 from you, right?
Mhm.
All right, so 17, 18, 19, 20. Does a 20 hit him?
Yeah, it should be higher than that. I think you have a plus. I think you get a +8 or something from your total. Like all together, you should roll your d20 and to be +8.
Oh, it's not written down on my sheet. Oh, wait, there it is. My bad.
Is it 8?
Yeah, it's 6.
Oh, 6. I was like 6 or 8.
6.
Yeah, you got him.
20. Yeah, okay. I need to look down more. All right. So I got that. So and it is a D6 electricity and 1 splat. There's nobody really around.
There's nobody around him.
Yeah. Where are you? You feel me? I'll melt you too. 5.
Violent.
Okay.
That's nice.
So the guard on the stairs is you hear the bottle crash and lightning start jumping and arcing off of the different metal pieces in the stairwell and echoing around the building.
Is he wearing plate?
He's got metal armor,
So it's like arcing across and etching into the
Yep.
arm. That's cool.
and
That's cool.
that guy is now left off guard.
So move,
Grab,
grab,
throw.
throw. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm like,
All right, we're back at the top.
And I see where my weapon was flung.
You have dark vision, yeah? You sure do. Your
yes.
your axe is literally in the square adjacent to you. You could literally bend down and pick it up where she threw it and it fell.
Okay. But he will get an attack, correct?
If he has that, you've yet to see him take a tactical opportunity. He held actions.
I am going to grab my weapon.
Okay. You bend down, pick it up.
Yep.
You bend down, pick it up. That's 1.
I rage.
That's 2.
And then I hit him. In here. All right. So 23.
That will hit him.
Max damage.
How much is it?
4.
18.
18 damage. You see Gerald, he takes the shot and the axe kind of goes through where his breastplate, chest piece, and his helmet is, and it kind of just sunders into the side of his neck, and he takes the shot and he falls down to a knee, and you hear him kind of like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm raging, so that adds 2 more.
okay. He looks really bad. Really bad. He visibly kind of wipes blood off of his mouth and kind of sloshes it onto the ground. And he's like, he kind of pulls himself back to a standing base. Are you done?
Yeah, that was it.
Philip?
Pick up the weapon.
Philip.
Rage.
Scorching blast.
Okay.
I'm tired of this man.
Okay.
He told us to beat him. My hand is now on fire.
Do
And
it.
I'm aiming it at him. And I'm going to fire it at him. That is 1 action, and it's 1 action to sustain. So I have 2 shots.
Do you roll to hit him,
I don't.
or is it a save? I'm betting you probably roll to hit him.
If you hit.
Where? Oh, yeah, that one.
So your spell attack plus your d20.
My spell attack is 16.
16
Look at your
will
card.
miss. Is there anything that happens if you don't hit?
No,
So
that'd be 17, but
your Philip, his little bitty hands light up like matchsticks, and he goes, and then Gerald just like pulls his shield up, and you just see all the flames kind of brush around the side of his shield, and he's like,
Oh.
"Should let kids play with fire." And Gerald will raise his blade above his head, and he'll take a shot at Inferna. He will roll an 18 for a 22,
That hits.
and he'll do 8 points of damage as he takes the sword down kind of across your back. And then he will look at the other 2 and the other 2 guards, and he'll say, kill the bard. It's your sister.
Killing? Really?
And the 2 guards will raise crossbows and take 2 shots at Siswick. That is a 12,
That will miss.
and that is a 1. The actual guy there will shoot, and when he lets go of the crossbow will tumble forward off the ledge and land on the ground. And Gerald
I know this face is just too beautiful to hit. Sorry.
Gerald
Thank
will
you.
wipe blood again from his face, and he'll go, "You're all idiots. I can't take you anywhere."
It was the one that got electrocuted, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No wonder why the king has to hire the ruffians in order to go do the job that you can't do.
I laugh. That
Gerald.
Meg,
All right. Well, I think while all that chaos is going on, I'm gonna just kind of back myself against the wall, kind of at a good angle.
Mhm.
So does Gerald have like any weak spots on him?
you can definitely see where a giant axe is split into the side of him, where Inferno has put a big giant handed axe
chunk out
into
of
the
it.
side of his armor right here in his chest.
gaping hole.
So
Okay, so I
100%.
will try to aim for that hole by pulling out my gun, which is one action.
Yep.
And I will aim to hopefully hit him right there.
Shoot him in the hole.
You
His face hole.
quick tools. You can
That's
pull and shoot.
that's a nut.
That's
Is it really?
20.
Yes.
Natural
Yeah.
20.
You gonna hit?
Yes, he's
No.
getting shot. You're probably dropping him.
Okay.
He gonna
I
hit.
believe you have one shot, right? That's an ability you have as a gunslinger there, Danielle. If you
One
look at her sheet, it should say one shot.
One shot, one kill.
One shot, one kill.
And on the first shot that you deal out of either one of those weapons, it's going to add your extra precision damage to it. So whatever the damage of your weapon is, which I believe is a D6, you'll get to add the one shot, one kill damage, which is an extra D6 from the first shot from each one of those weapons.
Is that a per combat thing, or every time you fire the weapon?
It's first shot per round.
Okay.
Okay, so I rolled
So-
D6 twice.
Yep,
First
correct.
shot's the deadliest.
The one for the first one,
So 1 plus
Okay.
your dexterity mod
which is
should be a
+4.
4.
So 5.
Counting in our hands here.
Yep.
Simple math.
And then this one
Two.
is just a straight D6.
And
2.
you get one from Bart.
Oh,
So you'll
3.
you'll
damage.
do 8 damage.
Okay.
So
It's not too shabby.
Meg, I need you to
Oh,
describe to me how you end Gerald here.
All right. I make sure to aim for exactly his wound with the one shot, and it goes directly through and pierces and goes straight through his body, straight through his armor.
Okay. You hear the eerily sound of, for those of you who haven't been around black powder type of weaponry, you hear an explosion and a bright flash. She's behind all of you, so it flashes from behind you, and you hear the sound of flesh ripping apart. And then as the exit wound pierces through Gerald, you hear the sound of like exploding armor out the back as it flowers out the back of his armor. And Gerald just puts his hand up on his chest and goes,
Ruffians, huh?
We aren't all idiots. Beware of the quiet ones.
and he kind of just leans back against the wall and just kind of slides down the wall, and you see like the blood streak run up the wall. And the other two guards go,
Probably shouldn't actually kill him, right? Should we
No.
keep him from dying?
If we
Gerald.
kill him, he would have learned a lesson.
Why am I asking you right now? You can't even.
and with that you hear,
Moving immediate. Are we out of rounds?
we are if you want to be.
Mhm.
I'm going to move immediately to heal him.
I was gonna say because as soon as I hear that, if this is done, I was
saying I was.
gonna move to stabilize him.
So
Like
But people are rushing towards Gerald, and the door opens up, and the king walks in, and he says, "No need."
I say, we win. We're not gonna let him die.
And he will pull the gauntlet off of his hand, and he'll reach down and touch the side of
Oh,
Gerald's neck, and you see a blinding light kind of run through his hand, down all the veins of his hand, and you just see the wound start to stitch close of this kind of like blazing, like yellowish orange energy just start fusing the wound close in Gerald's neck. And he just kind of fuses it shut, and then he just kind of shoves him over, and he just kind of slumps over to the side.
I pushed my
Well,
filtered
that's
life
fun.
potion back into my bag.
He says, "You have proven yourself worthy today. I know for a fact that you will at least have a shot to get Alana back. But for now, the Queen and I will claim you as guests, and you will stay here this evening on us. In the morning, I expect an expeditious retreat from the castle, and your search for Alana will start at first light. Understood?"
Mm-hmm.
And as he stands and looks, you hear the ever so light kind of pitter patter of feet approaching from the same way he walked in. And you see the queen walk in behind him, and she goes, "Corvus, just stop it," and just kind of shoves him on the side. And she goes, You are all fantastic. And she goes, I extend the gracious invitation to the palace. You are more than welcome to stay. They can leave after breakfast, Corvus. No one wants to travel on anything. And he gives her like the side eye through the visor. And
Through the visor.
and she says, don't you look at me like that.
Yes, dear.
And he says, as you wish. And he says,
thanks you very much. She can't fight on an empty stomach or even do any investigating. So it's
Nope.
perfect. Thank you so much.
of course. We have some rooms prepared. We expected your victory. Gerald isn't quite the cream of the crop as he thinks he is.
Oh no.
And
Poor Gerald.
Corvus just kind of looks at her like with that kind of scowl almost. And she says, but if you guys just follow me, we'll get you dinner and we'll get you set up in rooms and it'll be fantastic. And with that, we're going to end our scene here. And we'll pick back up with a story about a psychic promise another time. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the story with Elite Encounters. We'll catch you
my
next
God.
Tuesday at 6 p.m.
I can't wait to continue this. We're going to get in so much trouble. It's going to be fantastic.
Wait.